New slideshow.
Greetings, and thank you for attending this presentation, exploring both the linkage between performance management and human resources, the human resource function. If you are interested in your opportunities with your presenter today has worked on the front lines at UPS for more than 28 years. I have witnessed, but not always understood, changes to how performance management for supervisors and managers is implemented. In the same year, your presenter joined United Parcel Service as a package handler. Schuler and Jackson published a landmark article analyzing successful companies of their day while linking employee behavior with firm performance. They suggested that companies must be pursuing a growth strategy and that they could be pursuing two of the three strategies listed here on the slide. For example, a company could be pursuing an innovation strategy and a quality enhancement strategy, Looking at organizations pursuing an innovation strategy, companies the profile of employee behaviors necessary for firms pursuing a strategy of quality enhancement is relatively repetitive and predictable behaviors, something not good for a creative, artsy person perhaps who wants to innovate. There should be behaviors more of a long-term or intermediate focused, a modest amount of cooperative interdependent behavior, a high concern for quality with a moderate concern for quantity, output. The profile of an employee behaviors necessary for firms pursuing cost reduction strategies are as follows. 1. A relatively repetitive and Not wanting to get lost in the weeds, this slide discusses a typical process for managing employee discipline in a union environment. This presenter works in such an environment, and except for egregious cases, I can tell you this process is used less and less in favor of more people-oriented skills, such as providing appreciative and constructive feedback and coaching for success. I believe the reason people rarely end up in suspension and discharge is because organizations have realized that churning employees costs money and affects the bottom line or performance of the organization. Coaching behaviors, now it's time for a term definition. What are high-performance human resource practices? As defined by Collins and Bell, they are practices intended to enhance employee skills, the traditional model of linking performance reviews with annual raises seems to be dated and may well be an outdated practice. HR is providing the tools to operational leaders, as well as finding and hiring those with the skills to drive performance through proper goal setting and measurement. Collins and in support of what we've just reviewed, it's time to introduce the concept of specificity. Freire defines performance management as a process used to monitor and improve employee behavior in support of organizational goals. Central to that accomplishment is the use of specificity coupled with formality in evaluations. This slide identifies specificity in that it requires detail. On the far left side, you see areas of focus, whether it's customer, financial, internal business practice, or people. Then next, we have elements that affect each of those areas of focus, followed by how to measure the element, what the goal should be, and the standard base. Leadership must support any performance management process. They must own it. It must be a part of the company culture. Jim Kelly, a former chairman at UPS, said in 1997 at the management conference for UPS division and higher level managers, "I believe that the balanced scorecard and the service performance index rating that goes into it are truly reflected. At UPS, we use a quality improvement process. The quality improvement process is defined by performance management. It is a process where managers and the people they support work together to understand." All right, time for a new concept: primed goals. Priming is defined as the temporary non At UPS, we learn to promote wellness as many organizations have. We've asked employees to stop and consider the most important stop of the day. We suggest it is arriving home safely after a day's work. Through encouraging employees to post pictures of their most Having introduced specificity, primed goals, and the changing role of human resources, it is appropriate to consider the performance improvement